If you enjoy this podcast, then be sure to check out Farm Small, Farm Smart Daily, where you can get your daily dose of farm wisdom. Tune in every day to learn the latest tips, tricks, and stories from the world of farming. Whether you're a seasoned farmer or just getting started, our podcast has something for everyone. Join us as we explore topics like farm business, crop planning, soil management, and tools and technology. Start your day off right with Farm Small, Farm Smart Daily, available on all major podcast platforms. Don't miss out. Subscribe today.
And so I think that is, when I was writing about farmers and starting the podcast, it just sort of those two sides of my worlds kind of came together. Yeah. So
Yeah,
a little bit of farm, but also a lot of mission. And, I think that when we're talking about farmers, again, that invisibility factor is big. But the other thing is that people don't really understand that farms are not just food. I mean, I think if we were playing Family Feud and you had that little thing where you've got the last, the top 5 answers, you'd say farmer, they'd say food, you might say farmer, they might say tractor, right? But they're just not, people are not well versed in the idea that, farms are knitting our communities together. Farms are building regional economies. Farms are, the number one stop in terms of perpetuating personal and family health. Farms are on the front line with our environment. So if you want clean water and you want clean air and you want healthy soil, you can do all the things you know how to do. You can recycle and you can drive an electric vehicle or whatever the prescription is for being
yeah,
a good environmental steward. But farmers are on the front lines of that. And so the closer you are to a farmer, the closer you are to your health and your community and your environment and really building, small farmers are economic drivers. So, when you realize all of that, I spend mm, all of my time trying to connect people with those ideas and with the fact that farmers are at the forefront of perpetuating all of that.
yeah, definitely. I couldn't agree more because I think especially on a kind of a state level, a local level, you know, w- we essentially need every system to work properly for us to succeed. Yeah, we need a healthy environment that is not being polluted, that is not, resources aren't just being completely depleted. We need local economies to thrive so that we can, have customers who can afford to buy our produce or whatever the products are that we're producing. Yeah, I would say the majority of us, whether it's a family like myself or it's sort of an extended family or a friend group, we also need our kind of social systems to remain in place so that we have that support structure for us as individuals as well. And so I think in a lot of ways, it is a unique role in our society as a grower because we're not dependent on international markets and what's coming out from, the Far East or, what's being brought over on a giant cargo ship. It remains extremely hyper local. Even things like fertilizer, those are more domestic products that we're getting as organic growers. And so and thank you for kind of saying that because it's really sort of reframing the way I even see what we do and realizing that it's like to be successful, we need every system of our society to kind of be running properly for us to truly succeed.
Yeah, sure. And on the consumer side, I mean, you want all those things to be true, right? I
Yeah.
want to be healthy, want my family to be healthy. I want access to the most delicious food, so flavor's really important. I don't want to eat a strawberry and have it taste like a sponge. I
Yeah.
want it to be
Yeah.
really delicious. That's what makes the world go round, right? You want to feed your family and your friends and have it be yummy. And I think everybody experienced, in an all too real scenario during the pandemic, just the idea that a global supply chain is fragile and that we need our local farmers and our regional farmers in order to have, I mean, even to have national security. We need that.
Mm,
We need that in our backyards. And so when we're overlooking all of those things,
Yeah.
the farmer side and from the consumer side. We just really need to make sure that we're in it together. And the best way to do that is to get to know a local farmer, get to know small farmers. And I spend a lot of time on both sides of that of the fence line. So with the farmers, but also with the consumers, and I try to really make sure that there's a well swinging gate between the two. And what that means really is that I want to make it easy for farmers to access what we're doing, and I want to make it easy for consumers who are, busy and maybe not thinking the way I want them to think. I want them to feel like it's really easy to take action, and I want those actions to be meaningful. And so I probably have 10 different things that you can do to support a small farmer, or if you are a small farmer, to get involved in the For Farmers movement in our overall network of small farmers and the different opportunities. And I'm happy to talk about any of them. But for me, we're busy. We're busier than we have ever been. And I mean, everybody. We've got all kinds of, I don't even know how many email addresses I have. And, my kids are grown, but, still,
Yeah.
you're managing a family and a household and work and, aging parents and, all kinds of everything, and we're just dealing with the fire hose of life. And so I think just making it really, really easy and not so shouldy. Can I say that? Like, you should support a local
Yeah.
farmer. Well, you should. All right. You should.
Yeah.
But let me make it easy and fun for you, because it should be fun, right? This is
Yeah. Definitely.
food. you know, it's awesome. And so let me do it in a way that's going to help the farmer, but it's also a little self-serving, right? I want you to be around in my backyard so I don't have to eat a strawberry that tastes like a sponge.
Hey there. Want to spend less time pulling weeds? Check out Soil Shield by Modern Grower. It's the pre-cut landscape fabric solution to help you drastically reduce weed pressure. Just roll it out, staple it down, and plant. Then let it do the work for you. Say goodbye to endless weeding and hello to more free time. Plus, it's high quality, durable, and will last for years, saving you time and money in the long run. It's available in a variety of row and hole spacings to accommodate all the crops that vegetable farmers grow. Learn more about Soil Shield landscape fabric at shop.moderngrower.co or using the link below.